Hey, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How are you all today on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? It's not raining so far in the A. I think we have a little sprinkle here and there and so forth. We've been getting those summer showers, but we are good. Listen. If it rains, I don't care as long as I'm alive to enjoy them. I am good. No complaints. All right. So, listen, welcome to the TLC community. Welcome to Sunday Soul Care. Welcome to Sunday Soul Care. I am your girl, Coach T, Coach Trinette, Coach Tashawn, your relationship and marriage communication coach. All right. And listen, no. I got the wrong one, y'all. Oh Lord, I think I got the wrong one. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got my other yep. Oh, no, I got the right one. I just got the wrong ticker. Got the wrong ticker. Y'all pray for me. I'm gonna have an assistant soon. Soon. I'm claiming that. All right, I'm claiming that. But listen, it is Sunday Soul Care, and I welcome you to this community and so forth. This is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are more than welcome to put your comments in the chat. I would definitely try to get to them as I go through and so forth. But this is just that weekly pause, that pause and pivot and peace before we start our new week, right? Just something that God has given me to do. And so we're here on our new home, YouTube, right? I'm still on other platforms, but this is where you will see Sunday Soul Care and all of my other endeavors. All right. So listen, get your water. You know, we are doing our water intake. We're getting our water. Make sure you got your water intake. I gotta increase it. I am not gonna sit here and lie to you all. I have to increase it. I will. But I make sure on Sunday with y'all in my Talk It Out Tuesday and whenever I try to get on, I have my water in here, right? So I know that I'm gonna get some water intake. So it's ice cold, but I need to do it every day, like every day. Yeah, that is something that I'm working on. All right, y'all pray for me. All right. So listen, Sunday Soul Care, you are more than welcome um to take notes if you want to, or you just want to sit back and listen. Tonight I am hello, Singapore. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much. Tonight we're talking about moving differently, right? And tonight's Sunday Soul Care comes from Romans 12 and 2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed from by the renewing of your mind. So tonight's focus literally is sometimes God reveals that you are not being rejected, you are being redirected. When your assignment is different, you have to move differently. Woo! Right? Oh my gosh. So, welcome again to Sunday Soul Care with me, Coach T, a peaceful pause before the new week. Of course, I have my notes that I'll be reading from, giving to you all. So today I want to talk from a very personal place, and that's why it's a little tougher. Well, all of these are tough because again, I'm opening myself up again to the world, and did that in my book. But I'm like, okay, I'm doing it again. But it is that personal place tonight. It is coming from a personal place, and it's also from a place of growth, right? So this week I had a refreshing yesterday. I had an amazing time as one of the coaches for Atlanta business, Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce and ICLI Rising. Um, and I was one of the coaches. We were doing speed coaching, right? Speed coaching. And so I had a refreshing conversation with other business owners and entrepreneurs, right? After the event and so forth. So we were just sitting around debriefing, from the day's event. It went really well. So we were just sitting around and we talked about the highs and the lows, talked about the grows and the glows and what it really means to feel supported while building something, right? And so and, it was a valuable venting session with all of us coaches together. It was consultants, CEOs, just all business owners, right? And we were sitting there and we were chatting. And so God had to remind me of something. He had to remind me of something. And because I've been dealing with it for some time. I've been dealing with it on this journey. This is year number 4 for me, right? That God called me out of the classroom. All right. And so God had to remind me that I am different and I have to move differently, right? Not being better than anyone, not above anyone, right? Just a different assignment, different in season, and different in responsibility. And so he had to literally show me, because again, I've been in my feelings. I am responsible enough to hold myself accountable and to admit I have been in my feelings, because I got discouraged, got a little depressed, got I was losing hope on this journey of entrepreneurship, right? And starting this business. And I had to go back to I rededicated my business back to God. All of my content, everything that I'm doing, like it's for the glory of Him, right? He called me into coaching, He called me out of teaching, called me into this time. And I'm like, God, all right. Year 1 was okay. I had, money in the bank. People were supporting here and there. They would buy some of my ebooks or some of my products or whatnot that I have. And then, the money runs out because you're building a business, right? And this is part that a lot of people don't talk about, don't really understand the dynamics. And I always share my journey about my parents being business owners, right? So they were my foundation. So I knew that there were going to be these ups and downs. Yeah, I knew that. However, I didn't know that it was gonna last a long, long time, right? This is year 4, right? And so I've been in my feelings. I just been like, okay, God, wait a minute. And so I'm watching other people progress in their businesses, and I'm just like, wait a minute, they started after me. Wait a minute, what? What? Hold on. Wait a minute, God. But building a coaching business is challenging versus having a product base. When you have a service based, you know, uh, uh, project service based business, it's hard. It's very challenging, right? However, yesterday sitting around in the room with the other business owners, like I said, we were sitting around, we were having a good, and it was so good to be in the midst of other business owners who could actually talk and understand what I was going through. It's a difference. And tonight, I don't want it to be about giving any shade to anybody, or I don't want to sound like I'm being petty. I don't want to sound like I'm griping. But this is something God had to deal with me on this journey so far, because I was getting discouraged and it was becoming heavy. And God's assignment should not be heavy, right? So number 1, I had to recognize my assignment. Number 1, recognize your assignment. Everybody's path is not the same, and that's okay. So here are 3 points that God pointed out to me, right? Some people are building alongside a full-time job, and some are building as their main work. And that's what I was becoming irritated with. The people who have their 9 to 5 jobs and still building their business, they couldn't understand my concerns. And when I would go to them with my concerns, it was like a foreign language, right? It was like a foreign language to them, because it's like, well, the conversations we really could not have. We could have general conversations, but my issues were not the same as their issues. Like the 9 to 5ers with their business endeavors, they could do what they need to do. They can get an assistant. They can put on their events. They can, they didn't have to they don't have to do all the content on their own, or they don't have to put out all the content because that's not their main focus, right? Whereas a person of a the business owner as building their as their main work, right? We have to that our revenue comes from what we got to put out and how we got to get out there and network and all of that, right? And so how did you manage your love life during that hard time with entrepreneurship? I'm in my 40s hometown. Am I precious a bit? I thank you so much for asking that question. I'm going to talk about a little bit about that, and I encourage you to follow me because, and not just follow me, but that's something I will touch on because it does affect everything, right? So stay with me, stay with me. And so God had to show me and had to remind me that there are some people building with the full time, right, along with their full time job, and then there are people like me that don't have the 9 to 5 anymore. So my focus is on building the business, and it takes a lot. We are different. I have to move different. I do. I just have to, right? And so, number two, different seasons require different decisions. He had to show me that different seasons require different decisions, meaning it's not the same, the decisions that I have to make compared to them, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. Got to move different, right? And number three, he had to show me that I cannot keep measuring my assignment by someone else's rhythm. I cannot measure my assignment by someone else's rhythm. I can't. My assignment is my assignment. Their assignment is their assignment. And it's different. It's totally different across the board, all around. And so I can't measure that. What God has given them, that's for them. What God has given me, it's for me. So basically, what I'm saying with number one, different does not mean better, different means assigned. So it doesn't mean that you're better than they are. It doesn't mean that you're smarter, more intelligent, or X, Y, and Z. Doesn't mean that anybody's beneath. None of that, right? You just have to have an understanding that this is your assignment. Whatever God has given you, it is your assignment. Okay? It is your assignment. Yes, the seasons, the move, it's a lot that goes with it. This is your assignment. So he had to really sit and highlight that this is my assignment, not my colleagues. And when I say colleagues, I don't work in the school system anymore. So my colleagues now are other business owners or entrepreneurs or whatnot. So whomever that's not they're not my assignment. What God has given me, TLC coaching, I am Trinette L. Collier, LLC. This is my assignment. Nobody else's. And I have to stay focused on him so he can direct me in this assignment. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, well, I already knew that. This is, it's they'll talk like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of people talk like they already knew this and whatnot. No, let me tell you something. On this journey, it is very challenging. It's very challenging. I remember my parents going through it, and they didn't even have social media and all of that, right? And they built that business, and now I get it. I get why they only had a handful of friends. I get it now. I totally understand it. I totally understand. And that goes into number two. Release the need to fit. Release the need to fit. Basically, you cannot grow. God had to show me that I could not grow while trying to stay comfortable in places God is stretching me beyond. Ooh, let me take a sip of water of that one. I cannot grow while trying to stay comfortable in places God is stretching me beyond. So here's 3 points I want to share with you. Number one, it can hurt when support does not come from the places we expected. Number one, it can hurt when support does not come from the places we expected. As I said before, I am so blessed to have a family. I'm talking about my immediate blood relatives that have supported me on this journey. I can honestly say that I did both sides of my family, my mom's side, my dad's side, they have supported me and still support me, right? I never had that issue because both of my families have come from, they are entrepreneurs or business owners in both sides of the family. So they understand the journey. They understand. And now it all makes sense as well. The connections and the relationships they have it all makes sense to me now. I was just a little different. I didn't catch it in the beginning because I was trying to be friends with everybody, right? Trying to be friends with everybody. And so a lot of times you look then after when you have that support from your family, then you look towards your friends. And again, I'm very blessed to have had friends to support me in the very beginning years of my book purchases. Some would, come to my events and so forth. So I'm not griping about that. What became a problem when you know that I'm a coach, when you know that I'm a certified coach, when you know that I have all of these skills, these talents, when I have the connections, when I have the platform or whatnot, and you don't support that. Like that being a business owner, entrepreneur is tough out here. You know that you have events coming up and you need a panel and you don't call. Things like that, right? It can be very hurtful. That's the God's honest truth. It can be very hurtful because you're like, wait a minute, these are my friends, and they know they're other business owners as well, or whatnot. You get rejected, you get overlooked. I have been overlooked. And in the beginning, it was very surprising, and then it turned into hurt. And that's when God was like, okay, let me bring you out because I see where this is going for you. It became depressing, discouraging, because you're like, I have degrees, I have certifications, I have all of this experience, and you don't even want me on your panel, or you don't want me to come and speak, or you don't want me to do a workshop when you know this is what I do, right? So it can hurt when support does not come from the place we expected. But then people ask, "Well, how can I support you?" Well, it's like I'm telling you how you can support me, and it so God again had to be like, "Nah, we're gonna bring you out." Number two, but the hurt cannot become the place where we sit down and stop moving, and that's where I started finding myself with the discouraging, with the discouragement, the depression. That's where I started finding myself. I started finding myself moving in that direction because I'm like trying to figure out why. Why would they overlook me when they know that I'm trying to build this business? When I have everything in place, when I'm constantly out here. I've sent media kits. I've put myself, I've advertised, but yet you overlooked me. That is very hurtful. And I don't care what anybody says, it is hurtful. It's very hurtful, especially when you know that you have gone out your way to make sure that you're connected with other people. You know, I am that person that supports because I want to see everybody win. I literally want to see everybody win. If they're a business, I want if you're doing good, I want to see you win. And so I've shared people's stuff. I've connected people with other people. I've I feel like I've done a lot, right? And then when it's not reciprocated, it's like, oh, wow, okay, all right. Mind you, you may have helped me here and there, but if you know that I'm building a business, I'm in my element, I need the growth, I need the opportunities. Yeah. And so God has been dealing with he literally had to deal with me. Number 3, sometimes God uses those moments to renew our minds and redirect our focus. And that is what happened yesterday for me. So it's basically I can honor people and still stop waiting for them to validate what God already called me to do. Yeah, take your sip of water. Insert yourself. You can honor people and still stop waiting for them to validate what God has already called you to do. Yeah. Like Sunday SoulCare. It's out there. You should know I'm 7 p.m. Talk It Out Tuesday, 6 p.m. every Tuesday. Sunday SoulCare every Sunday. However, God said for me to focus on Him. And that's why I had to redirect my vision, my focus back on Him. Because what I'm doing is for His glory, not for anybody else's. And so yesterday's conversation, it again, God was in the midst of all of that, of the conversation, and he like plain as day, he gave me these and I was like, oh wow, I'm like, that's Sunday Soul Care right there. That's it. Number 3, move forward with peace. God can provide support, strategy, and connection in ways I did not expect, that you don't expect, right? So here are 3 points. Number 1, support may not always look like friends showing up the way I imagined. That it could be through prayer, it could be through you know, sending encouraging messages or whatnot. Even those have they, ceased. I'm gonna put it like that. Encouraging messages have ceased from friends because most people are like, "Oh, well, this is year 4. You should be booming, da da da," and people really have no clue, have no earthly idea that building a business takes time. Most businesses fail or they close. I don't want to say fail, they close in the first 2 years. The first or second year, they close. And I've been blessed to sustain this business so far, these 4 years in building, trying to build the clientele. And it has been very challenging, but I've been remaining faithful to it, dedicated, resilient. And I was about to give up last week, y'all. I was about to give up last week. I did. Well, actually, I did. I did until yesterday when God had to talk. He was talking to me. Number 2, support can look like new spaces, new conversations, new business relationships, and new wisdom. I.e., yesterday, new connections, new business relationships, focusing on those relationships that understand what this journey is about. No longer making excuses for my friends, because I was trying to make excuses. Well, maybe they didn't know, or maybe, and one in a business owner, plain as day, said they knew. They know. They said, Coach Trinette, they know. They know that you're a coach. They see your content. They know exactly what you do because your content is together. They know what you do. And that was a hurtful moment to be told that the truth, because again, I was making excuses. Well, they don't have time to turn on and log in and watch me. They don't have time to, this, that, another. No, they do. They do. Because when you're in the mindset of a business owner and you know that other business owners are out there, you're like, oh, this is my girl. This is she's in the circle, or part of, like, oh, okay, she's doing X, Y, and Z. Let me. Mm-mm. Nope. Number three, my responsibility is to keep showing up with faith, excellence, and peace. That's what God told me. He said he told me to continue to show up with faith, in faith, excellence, and peace. Hey, spot on. No problem. No problem. So simply, basically, I do not have to force support anymore. I can follow God's direction and trust Him to send what is needed. I'm not forcing support anymore. I'm not I'm not doing it. And this is coming from God. And so yesterday, as I was sitting in the circle with the other business owners and so forth, again, it was, you have to move different, Trinette. You're not the same as your friends with 9 to 5 jobs. They don't understand that you have to gain revenue from your business. You don't have money sitting in the bank anymore. You don't have those benefits anymore. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? So that was their conversation to me. And I don't even know these people. Their business, or they own companies and whatnot. And for them to sit and just tell me flat out raw truth or whatnot, they said I cannot take them where I am going. And and again, I had to receive this because it was coming from God. God had to say, I'm gonna shake you up because you're not getting it. Because again, I was taking it to heart. I was becoming depressed. I was becoming discouraged. And that's when God said, I do not have to force support. I do not. So those people that are invested in me, meaning they know when I'm on my Talk It Out Tuesdays, they know when I'm on my Sunday SoulCare, they share my content. Those are the people I'm going to be focusing on. I've asked for people to start networking circles with me, and it was like it were crickets, but then they go start a networking with others, and oh wow, okay, no problem. So God said to focus on those people who understand the dynamics of entrepreneurship, because again, you are different. And I just did not want to accept that. He's been telling me that, but yesterday he made it plain as day. And like I said, it was heartbreaking, and I won't say even heartbreaking. It was just, okay, God, I'm getting the message. I'm finally getting the message. I am different. And again, it's not to say that that I'm better than anyone else, but I'm not the same. I'm not the same as you. And he had to tell me that. Yes, we have to understand him. We have to understand him. And I literally was like, okay, God, I hear you loud and clear, because I have been asking God, I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Why am I getting discouraged? Why am I getting depressed? You gave me this assignment. So why am I struggling? What is going on? So I had to release them. And when I mean them, meaning the friends that I see that are able to do their events, able to still, they got them all of this, I had to release that. I have to release that from my conversation. I have to release that from my heart. I have to release that from my mind. I have to release the fact like they don't support. Again, you know that I'm on every week at a certain time. I make it consistent, right? I just ask for watch hours. How hard is that? Just to ask for some watch hours, right? You would think people be like, "Oh yeah, let me give my girl some." Because here's my thought process. When I blow up, guess what? Whoever been riding with me, I'm gonna make sure you blow up too. That's my thought process. It Let me put it like this. It was my thought process. Take a sip of water. It was. So I don't care. I know we have our target audience and all of this, but as a business owner, and you know your fellow business owner needs that support in that way, give the person to watch some watch hours. You know they have a YouTube page, you know they're trying to build up their content or whatnot. Support it that way. But he said, I do not have to force support anymore. I follow God's direction and trust him to send what is needed. Right. I'm not the same as anyone. I look, you're not even similar. You are unique. You are too. I'm speaking it back to you. And we've had these conversations. And again, it was just so refreshing to have the conversation with other business owners in the room yesterday. And they were all business owners. And when I say business, and again, this is no shade, they were business owners. So they don't have their 9 to 5 jobs. In fact, there were a few people who were door dashing because we were all talking about how those are them little side hustles, right? And they're believers, Christians and so forth. But as a business owner, you have to get out there. And if that revenue is not generated, yeah. So it was such a refreshing moment to be amongst others who can relate. And that's what I have been asking God to send me some people, because this journey is lonely. It's lonely. And you need that support, right? I'm not going to say I don't need the support of a 9 to 5er, but we can't relate. We can't relate because when you go to sleep versus me going to sleep, I'm thinking about, okay, if anybody's going to click on my website trying to and buy a product, whereas you already got your paycheck coming, you whatever dates they have, you getting paid, right? So again, God had to, when I say he broke it down, he made it so kindergarten clear. It's a thing that I always tell people. I tell my husband, break it down to me as though I was a pre-K, a kindergartner. He broke it down to me as I was a kindergarten. He said, you are not the same. You're different, my child. My daughter. He don't, we be thinking he'd go talk in the King James, like my child. No, he was like, listen, I gave you this assignment. You are not the same as them. He literally was like, you can't go where they're going. They can't go where you're going. Time for them. Time for he was talking to me. He said, time for me to get off that train. I was on that friendship train, trying to make sure everybody get the exposure. Because again, if I connect to some people that I know that will benefit you, I'm gonna share that out. I'm gonna give that to you with no problem. I was just raised like that. However, it makes sense now what my dad was telling me. When I tell you God is so good, he brought it back to my remembrance. Like he showed me what my parents were telling me and showing me. He was like, yeah, you got a lot of ideas. And it's okay to share them, but you're gonna have to be careful what you share and who you share it with. even your friends. Because again, God said, it's time for me to get off that train. Whew, let me take another sip of water. So I didn't even have time to cry sitting there yesterday or anything. I literally was taken in. I did like it was just plain as it was confirmation on top of confirmation on top of confirmation yesterday. Right. Break it down. Yes. Hop off this train. So I am off the train. I have my own caboose. I have my own train. And those who want to support in the way as a business owner, support, we support. And it was so funny yesterday. The business owners were like, okay, how can we support you? What we gonna do? Like it was already in place. What we gonna do? Okay, we gonna put some things in action. We okay. It was right off the bat. There was no, well, okay, well, let me. Mm-mm. So listen, we said here for it every day, all day. I listen. We got work to do, sis. We got work to do. We doing the work, but we are on a different train now. We're not the same. We're not the same. So as I close tonight, um, and as we move into this new week, I want you to have a chat with God. I want you to really talk to God about your business endeavors that He has given you, the assignment that He has given you. And I want you to ask God, where have I been trying to fit when you are calling me to grow? What support have I been waiting on that I need to release? Woo. How are you asking me to move differently in this season? So, again, where have I been trying to fit when you are calling me to grow? What support have I been waiting on that I need to release? How are you asking me to move differently in this season? Those are questions that he had me to answer. And I can tell you now the support, what support have I been waiting on that I need to release? I release the need for people to share out my content, to like, love my content. If it's only one person on here, I'm going to keep doing it. If there's 0 people on here, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to log on and keep doing it. I will like it. So I release the need to have others to support me in my on my assignment from God. Woo! Woo! Wow. Yes, I was in the right room at the right place in the right time. I literally was, sis. I literally was. I release the need to have the support of friends that don't see the value in who I am and what I do. I'm a certified relationship and marriage communication coach. I didn't just go to school. I didn't just pay $39 for my certificate, my program, and that's no shade, but it is value. I attended an ICF accredited program. Here it is, and I'm continuing my studies. I have experience. I have knowledge. I've sat on major platforms. I've had my own shows, talk shows, radio shows, podcasts. I've interviewed some big names. Like I have all of this, my resume is long that he had to show me, right? And he said, and I think about my parents They didn't have social media. They had each other. They had us, the children. And they had about 5 or 6 employees. I want to say 6 employees for their company. Friends fell off. And it's no bad blood, but when you're building a business, and I watched them make their first $1 million contract. So that's why I know they didn't have, sis, listen to me. They didn't have social media. That's why I'm rooting for, that's why you know how I feel about you and my brother. They didn't have social media. I watched them build. They did not beg for support from friends and family. They did not. I can honestly say they did not. So why am I begging for support? And so God said, enough. I am enough. I have done enough. And my mentor coach said the very same thing. That's how I knew it was confirmation. She said, Trinette, you have done enough. Right. They did not have it, they built it. And they built it with God from ground up. And it took them about 3 years too, because the industry, they were in the airline industry. And so the contracts are different. Everything is different, right? They had to get their employees. Again, they had about 5 employees. I keep saying six. I remember there was an extra one, but it was 5 main employees. And he had to tell them from the beginning, hey, when I get this contract, this is how you get paid. Like everything was already in order. But those 5 people believed in him, his employees. So God is like, why in the heck are you begging for support from people who see you? Who see you? Why? You trying to be validated by your friends. And I was. I've been trying to prove that God called me to this assignment. I've been trying to prove that I'm not crazy for leaving not a 6-figure job. Five was it 75000, a 5-figure job, 5-figure job with benefits. I've been trying to prove that I wasn't crazy for leaving teaching close to my retirement years. And he's like, this is an assignment that I gave you. So either you're going to do it for them and keep struggling, or you're going to do it for me. And I provide you what is needed for this assignment that I gave you. So if nobody shares my Talk It Out Tuesday flyer, nobody shares my Sunday SoulCare, it's okay. And this is what Trinette, and this is what he has given me permission. Yeah, 5 fingers with the benefits. Yep, five-figure job with the benefits. And this is what he had to tell me as well. Enough is enough. I'm not going the extra mile for others anymore. So this is the way I'm operating. If you share my things, I'll share out yours. If you don't share out mine, I'm not sharing yours. If you don't come to my lives, my YouTubes, I'm not coming to yours. And it's not being petty, but it's now setting the boundaries. It's boundaries. And we talked about this yesterday in the amongst the group of at the chambers. Um the boundaries I continue to break my own boundaries because I'm trying to be a good friend, or I'm trying to, support. And the whole time I'm like, but Trinette, they literally overlooked you. And I know people will be like, well, God didn't tell me that, hey, that's okay. And there were reasons. There were reasons. So I have boundaries. So he has released me. He has released me. And there's no guilt, no shame, no again, I'm not better than you type of attitude. No, because what was happening again, the discouragement, the depression was setting in, and it is hurtful. It is hard. 4 years in business. I have products and services. People don't even take the freebies. I'm like, I'm giving y'all stuff. And that's because they don't value, because I didn't value it. Because I'm trying to run after everybody. Yeah. I don't belong to any groups. I don't belong to any circles. My parents didn't belong to any circles. I think they were members probably of like the Chamber of Commerce or something. They were members of those types of organizations, but they were not in for fraternities, sororities. They were not. They no. They were not in social clubs. No. So if they could do it in the 90s with no social media, just with encyclopedias, Google at that time, because Google was out, coming out with they had the big desktop computer, floppy disk. They had to get out there and network amongst the people outside of their community. They didn't just stay in the Black community, they were out there, right? They did it by themselves. They didn't have people with them to go to net. They didn't do all of that. They had to get to the ground running, and that's what I have to do. And so Guy was like, no more begging for support. No more. He released me. So again, these questions, where have I been trying to fit when you are calling me to grow? What support have I been waiting on that I need to release? How are you asking me to move differently in this season? He showed he I said yes yesterday. I said yes. I told my mentor coach, I said I am ready all the way now. All the way. 100% I am ready. I am ready. I told God, I am ready. 100% I am ready. Now you know the enemy going to try to creep in, but listen, the way I'm so ready. The way I'm so ready. Y'all should have saw me yesterday. I was working that room. I anointed that room. Those clients came in for speed coaching and they requested me. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. When they saw my title of relationship and marriage communication coach, these are business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, COOs, executives. I didn't know these people. And I was super nervous. I've never done speed coaching, but I was just super nervous, right? But they got in my space. I anointed that area because we each had our own little office space. I'm gonna talk some more on the real. Like I had our own little office space. It was phenomenal. But when they came in, God gave me, He showed me who I was and what I do. He showed me that this assignment, He did not make a mistake. Yeah. So this week, I want you all to give yourself permission to stop shrinking. You can love people and still move forward. You can be grateful for where you come from, where you came from, and still grow into where God is sending you. You can release disappointment without becoming bitter. Let God renew your mind. Let Him redirect your steps. Let Him show you the support wisdom, and community that fits this season with you. And that's what I'm ready. Put that again in the chat. I am ready 100%, sis. Say that loud. We need a t-shirt. I'm ready. I am ready 100%. So let God renew your mind. Let Him redirect your steps. Let Him show you the support, wisdom, and community that fits this season. You can't do it by yourself. This is an assignment that He gave you. He has to do it all. And we're going to do that. All right. So I want to say this prayer with you all tonight. And again, you can insert yourself. But dear Lord, thank you for reminding us that our assignment matters. Help us stop comparing our journey to someone else's rhythm. Renew our minds where we have felt discouraged, overlooked, or unsure. Teach us how to release what we expected so we can receive what you are providing. Give us peace to move differently, courage to keep building, and wisdom to recognize the support you are sending in this season. In Jesus' name, amen. So listen, thank you, thank you, thank you to those who logged on. Thank you so much for supporting me. And if this resonated with you, join me next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what God has for me to share. I have outlines done, but this wasn't even on my outline today. So I'm allowing God to work. But when I tell you, I don't know what tomorrow holds as a business owner. I don't. I am walking in this thing with the faith and the grace that God has given me, because this is an assignment from Him. I don't know what the support is going to look like, but I know that I have to be obedient. I know what skills and talents that I have that He has given me. I know the background. I know all of the trials and tribulations I've been through to get to this point. And I am determined, and He knows I'm determined not to be broke, a broke business owner. I'm determined not to compare my journey with anybody else's journey. I'm determined to keep my eyes on what God has for me. And I cannot afford, I cannot afford mentally, spiritually, physically to worry about who's not supporting TLC. I cannot. I release them. I release everybody, everything that I have expected support from, that I have expected support from. I'm a good person. I'm a supportive person, but enough is enough. Yes, thank you, honey. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm praying for y'all too. Release them. I have supported, I have shared, I have done all of that. So I have to move differently. I have to move differently. My assignment calls for me to move differently. So if you think I'm acting funny, take that up with God. If you think I'm acting better than you are, take that up with God. Because if you know me, you know that I'm not. But the way I'm moving now, you probably will think that. I'm going to put on my fur coat. I'm about to put on my fur coat with the pinky up. I moved different. God gave me this business. He gave me this as an assignment. He did not make a mistake. My parents did not beg for support. I'd be doggone if I'm gonna sit here and beg you to like, love, engage. Like, why do I have to do that? I'm not about to do that. Yes, listen. I'm about to put my fur coat on, or the mink stole I have for my great aunt, and I'm about to put. Listen, I I'm not about to play with y'all. I'm not about to play with y'all. We do not have to beg, sis. We do not have to beg. I've been sitting in rooms where there is, and it's not just about the money, y'all, but there is resource. There's no reason why an entrepreneur we should be broke. And I'm not about to be broke again because I'm focusing on who's not supporting me, who ain't sharing out my stuff, who ain't coming onto my YouTube. You know, I want to build up my YouTube page. You know, in order for us to get monetized, we have to have a certain number of hours. Why do I have to beg you? If you're calling yourself my friend, just put it on in the background, let it play so it can get the watch hours. Why do I have to beg you to do that? So we're not doing that in this season. Quarter 3 again is preparing for the next quarter and is preparing for 2027. Oh, I know. Listen, sis, what I tell you, you already know, sis. You already know. When I tell you I love you and Will so much, but we're not doing that. And spot on, girl. Put your business down there if you want to. You know how I feel about that. Put your business down there. Put what y'all do. Somebody gonna see this. So listen again. I thank you all so much for joining me. I thank you. Right. I want like engage. That and honestly, that's the new algorithm. Facebook, social media, Instagram, they want to see the engagement. So liking and loving is just not enough anymore. Like that's not doing anything. But when you engage in a content creator platform, that's what pushes it out to the feed. That's how people get monetized. Yeah. So engage. All right, engage. All right, you guys. So again, if this resonated with you, if you want to hear more on Sunday Soul Care, I feel like I need to do an entrepreneur's journey type of sessions or whatnot. I don't know. I'm still waiting on God to do because I started doing that a couple of years ago, but I don't know yet because I have a lot to say about this journey. All right. So listen, I love you all. I am grateful for you. I'm so grateful that God allowed me to release today. I really am. And we have to believe it. We have to believe it. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to this world, to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. His. That scripture hit me differently this time. I've been trying to think like my friends and good people, love them dearly, good people, but they cannot go where I'm going. Time for me to get off that train. I already jumped off. I jumped off yesterday. I jumped off yesterday while I was moving. I jumped off. Hmm. And I'm still standing. I love you too. I will see you all next week.